Hello, my name is Tony Conigliaro, bartender and bar owner. I'm going to show you my Soho. Soho is an incredible place. It's like the hub in London of film, art, creativity, food, drink and fashion. So I'm going to show you some of my favourite places in and around Soho. So we're here with Marina from Lena Stores in the heart of Soho. I've been coming here for as long as I can remember. There was always a really big connection in certain parts of Soho with the Italian community.
Yes.
We were doing research into espressos in the UK. The first espresso was served, in 1920 on Old Compton Street.
We've been here since the 1944, so around 70 years.
Yeah,
so
wow.
We are the oldest surviving delicatessen in Soho. You can find every little particular Italian item here. We use the same suppliers, same recipes for fresh pasta that we've been using since the 40s. So. Still keeping the same traditions.
And a best coffee as well.
Yeah.
We're at Pocket Suit Makers. This is Bayoi Ondawale, who is the owner and designer of Pocket Suits. So what differences have you noticed in Soho over the past few years?
Soho's changed. It's always changing. From being Henry VIII's hunting ground to being a spot for beatniks and jazz heads in the 60s. Fashion has always been individual shops in a sea of seediness, and that's actually that's what makes them slightly interesting. That it's always a groundbreaking and pivotal fashion movements come from Soho because they're just out there on their own. But stylistically, it's a cool square mile. You've got the Supreme Kids, you have Pata, so there's that skatewear, streetwear thing, and then you've got the indie type shops like YMC who appear to a slightly older, casual, bearded man, and it's just literally tribes of Soho, and then you get into the sort of sleek, slightly too tight tailoring that goes on. And even though there are more operators, there's much more cool stuff in Soho. You still have those key touchstones of really cool shops and characters that you have here. So.
For me, the French House has always been the one place that's always been consistent in my Soho history, but also I think in the history of Soho itself.
It's the village pub.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. But even just looking around here, you've got all the pictures of the regular. You've got like Francis Bacon.
I've been here 28 years this year.
Yeah.
And I was lucky then because I got to meet Francis and Lucian and all the great, fantastic Dan Farth and people like that. It's one where historically, one place in the whole of UK that had many nationalities, and it was very, very exotic. And then de Gaulle was here.
Yeah, of course, I was going to mention that. During the Second World
War and the Free French,
yeah.
and he's supposed to have written his speech to the French nation up here. Yeah. We may have lost the battle, we haven't lost the war. De Gaulle must have come here to speak French, or I don't know, just feel a little bit at home. Drink Ricard, or I don't know, whatever he did.
I think my first ever Ricard was in here as well. Not that I'm claiming to be anywhere like de Gaulle, but
That's a lot of people's first Ricard, wasn't it?
Doug here is the owner of the Vintage Showroom, and it's like a treasure trove for me of like vintage clothing and original pieces that Doug, you source from all over the world.
The idea is we sort of have it as a home for inspiration, and we travel around buying sort of things that we find interesting, vintage fabrics, vintage clothing. It's not like everything else around here. So I think the window displays are usually great. They attract people, and it's people's curiosity. They just like to come in and have a look around. Some of our customers, are much more into mix and match, so they'll mix the like really high quality vintage with like designer clothes or one-off pieces. And other people are a bit more sort of, They like to dress from a particular time or decade, and they sort of embrace the whole sort of vintage lifestyle.
Yeah. When I was working down the road at Duffer St George, this was the hardware store, so we used to come and get, like, you know, the screws and the light bulbs and stuff like that. But here,
it was an ironmonger's from 1835, so it was one of those real, like, family-run businesses that never changed hands.
Yeah.
And then we were the first change of use 8 years ago. We knew the owners, we knew the family, and we really wanted to keep sort of some of what we loved about the old store. I mean, we still get the old lady kind of wandering in, looking very confused, wanting to know where the plugs are or something. So we have to unfortunately let her down.
So, last stop today is Bar Termini. This is my bar in Soho, renowned for coffee and cocktails. It's an Italian aperitivo style bar. Starts with coffee during the day, and then we kind of do cocktails and light bites during the evening. So, see you in Soho soon.